everybody. Thank you so much for watching today. I decided that I wanted to kind of play around with the diagonal path since I hadn't done much, and I thought it might be fun to try to build like a windy little river for the fairies on this small part of the wild woods because I might be putting my all my fairies on the other side of the river here in the bigger part of the wild woods, and I just wanted to see if it would fit. I thought it might be a good place to kind of make a video and give some inspiration on how you can make windy rivers and paths and stuff. So I'm trying. I'm trying here. So I first just started placing a diagonal path and then kind of playing around with it because I wanted to have more rounded curves but like very natural. So I'm just wanted to see how I accomplish that. And when you have a rock border path, you'll get rounder curves, and if you have like a regular border path, you get more straight edges. So I used this sun-baked earth because I like the contrast, wanted to be able to see it really well. And I wasn't really sure how I wanted it to look exactly, and I was just kind of playing around to see what I could do, but obviously I wanted to have a walkway from the entrance from the bind and also to the little temple area and to the bridge. So I'm trying to kind of make it curvy, as you can tell, and I wasn't too worried about the other side of it. I didn't want to make it too close because I wanted space for the river and the big waterfalls, but I wasn't too worried about it because I know you can place the river on path and I knew I could edit it as I go. But in the end, I'm just kind of building out some spaces to see kind of how it can curve, and then I'll go and delete some areas. It kind of seemed easier to have a big thick piece of it and kind of build out from there to see where it would go, or go and delete spaces like this to see how it would look. It was best when I would always turn the pathing on the diagonal, so that I could see exactly what it was going to look like rather than keeping it on the straight area. But yeah, I'll kind of let you watch this whole process in case you want to, but you're welcome to speed it up through this. I do think that in the end it works out for the river. It kind of gives me a guideline of where I want the river to go. So I think it's a good um, way to kind of get yourself to maybe do a windier type of river, because it gives you kind of a guideline, even though you can place pieces on it so you're not like stuck in any way. And I also wanted to make little cutouts for foliage or items and stuff, as you'll see kind of as I go. I'm just keep kind of manipulating it and seeing what the shapes would look like when I delete stuff or add stuff and everything. Of course, right now it just looks like kind of crazy, but it will work out in the end, I think. So now I like the basic shape of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and start my river area. I wanted to put at least two rainbow waterfalls if I could, um, but they are very big. If I'd thought about it, I would have added trees behind them first because it's not a very pretty background behind them. With the trees are just different, but I didn't really think about it, so I just placed them down. I started connecting the borders to it and to see if I had enough space from where it would fit to my pathing. And then, of course, I thought maybe I could manipulate it and do one at the diagonal, but I wasn't in the mood to try because you can't really fit the border pieces at the diagonal, but you could use pathing or other things to try to border it. Next time, another time, guys. But so I just wanted to make sure that I could connect the two pieces first, and then I'll start building it how I want. So I connected those to make sure that they were in the right place, and then I want to build the river out a little bit more in between, and then I'll start building it towards the pathway and around it. I didn't really want the waterfalls to be even, but I only got them a little bit off because I wanted to make sure I had space to put all of the border paths next to the walkway. So they're only a little bit off of each other, but I could have evened them out, but I'm glad I didn't because I totally forgot to leave space for a big rainbow. So that one got, so I did get that in luckily on the left side because I left a little bit more space behind that one. But if I was going to build this again, I would leave space behind these items so that I could put trees and things. I would have done that first, but so if you wanted to recreate something like this and you only had this little space, I would try to put some trees or what you want behind these first, but I still love how this turns out. So you see, I'm just kind of building that little river piece, and I always just do the borders first, and then I was gonna place out all of the river tiles, but oh my gosh, the rain is just unstoppable these days, guys. I can't help it. Um, but the I was gonna place out all of the river tiles so I could just copy them over, but because the biome's blue, you can't hardly see them. And also they kind of clip into, I don't think I show it, but they kind of clip at the edge of the rivers because, and like the grass goes over them. So it's kind of cool. You could make it run into the river if you wanted. These areas are kind of weird like that, but you can see now I'm doing the other side and making sure that I can kind of fit and seeing if I need to adjust my pathing or how I want it to look. I wanted to just make sure I could get in enough turns and so that the borders, I was really using my pathway as a guideline for me, and I will edit here and there when I want to add more river or something, as you'll see, but it kind of was nice to have it as a guideline. I ended up having to go buy more of the little corners and the single square, like water, just basic water tiles. I Scrooge is really getting me with these river river pieces. He's really getting rich off of us. So as you can see, I'm kind of trying to curve it around my pathway. It's kind of like if I had a house or anything there, but it's actually nice to have the path as a guideline because it can go over it. It's easy to delete and change as you want to. So and it's not something that's big and kind of standing up, so it might be a better way if you wanted to like surround a house or surround a fountain or, you know, whatever, it might be, it might help to just put a piece of pathing down that's the footprint of your item, and then make the river around that. It might help somebody do it that way, because then you don't have the big item there. It might be easier to see the layout from above of where you need to make the borders go. So you can see I'm really following my kind of path outline. And then once I needed to make sure that this area I could fit, because I had it really close to my path, so I kind of edit this area a little bit. Because on the side of the rainbow waterfall, you have to get a little bit farther away from it before you can turn up. So you can see I'm moving everything over a little bit to make sure that I can get all the necessary pieces in there. Once I realize that it won't fit, so I edit the pathway a little bit. I was okay with on the left. I was okay if I could see some of the rocks of the border. I kind of like that, with some of it going over the pathing is fine, but I was in a lot of areas I was trying to leave some spaces so that I could maybe put some other flowers or items in too. And you could also just build a river and put straight pathing under all of it, and the pathing would look curved, as you can see, because if the river is curved like this, then, and you just had the pathing completely under it, it already gives it a natural curved look because of the border, the river border pieces on it. So you could just build a river and then completely put pathing under the whole thing. Or at least up to all the edges or whatever, and it would look like it fit the river. I just really wanted to have the kind of rock border and see what I was doing on this one. I tried to switch it up when I could, when I had space to put one of these bigger, like, corner pieces, like these ones that have the little wood in them or different things, because they are a slightly different shape of a curve than all the 90s. So I do try to put those in when I can. I try to put in different foliage pieces or different lengths here and there just to make it look slightly different, but I was very happy that it all connected, so I had them all right. Now I'm gonna go edit some of the areas, like this one. I wanted to look a little bit bigger because I exit out now and then to look at the river and the water and the path just to see how I like it, and I thought I could fit some pieces a little bit closer to the pathing, so I'm going and doing that now. I also wanted to get more of the single water pieces in there so that I could add more like lighted lily pads or things. So now I'm happy with it, so I'm gonna fill in all of the empty water spots. And then I saw this side and I thought maybe I could make it a little bigger over here. And then I started putting in my mushrooms. Like I said, I couldn't fit any trees behind the waterfalls or anything really, so I started kind of putting these into some of my little open spots. And then these Bugs Life clovers, I love these things. These things can go on pathing, so you have a little bit more playroom with those. But here they're smaller. The footprint's a little more forgiving, except for underneath, except for like tall items. But they go really close to the river, which is nice. And I threw these things out because they are fairy and I paid for them. And then you see the pixie dust hot air balloon goes over. I was so happy. I was like, oh my gosh, look, it goes anywhere. I can put it anywhere. You want to place those first though before like foliage and stuff because they have a big footprint that doesn't allow things under it. And then I didn't get my rainbow. My other rainbow behind where I wanted to because I didn't leave any space. So that's alright. I'll just add them all around because they're so pretty. Now we got our nice little enclosed area. I'm going to add some of these gorgeous little pixie dust lamps. But if you don't have these premium items like these fairy ones, there's always other stuff you can use. What I think would be really good here if you don't have these is the mushrooms under foliage that light up at night. You could line those all around and they're really forgiving as well on the footprint and placement, so you could put those everywhere. You can also add a bunch of the flowers from Eternity Isle that light up. Those would be really pretty. I do add some in here at the end, but and then I just used the foliage lily pads that light up, the pink ones. If you have the Tiana ones, you could add those in here. I added a couple of this lighted flower. I don't know what that thing is called, but it was just in the premium shop, I think, last week, and I bought it, so I had to use it. But it's definitely not necessary. If you don't have it, you can put all kinds of things in the water, like reeds or just more lily pads and things is nice. And I didn't fully detail this whole out. Well, it's pretty done, but I would probably put a beautiful rug under the gazebo sitting area or something. There's probably some details I'll add as I'm kind of playing and go through here because I'm going to be building out my fairy area and I'll kind of see where that takes me and how I want things to look. I added a lot of these the fairy star path items like the chairs and things and the big flowers and beautiful teapot fountain. A lot of the items you can add in here you don't need premium items. We have a lot of really good star path items recently and base game items too. So I started adding mole morass along the path to kind of add some color, and then I realized that we have the flower tiles. So I start adding those, but you could just put flower tiles, and then they don't cost money. They also go like under, all tiles go under the river, but like you can place that so you can place them really close and fill in kind of some of those bare blue areas or grass areas. You can put them right under the lamps and all kinds of things. They're really nice. You can put them under the water, but you can't really see them. But if you put other like tiles and rugs under the water, like some of the rocky ones you can see above the water, it's really nice. And then of course some of these big beautiful flowers, because we want all the big items to make us feel like a fairy when we walk through here. And here's those mushrooms. You could use a lot of these to kind of line the area. Would look really, really good at night. The rain, I'm so sorry, you guys. I couldn't. I tried stopping it a few times and not doing a lot of decking because it's hard to tell what things look like in the rain, but it's nonstop. I did this all at once and it rained so many times. So you can add like the purple bushes are cute from the forgotten area in the foliage. Or some of the pink bushes, and that's already looking like really full to me. I added some more of the fairy star path items like flowers and the big teacups that make you feel small and are so cute. And I like these cupcakes because they're big, but I also just use them as fountains with water tiles under them that I learned from Natty or Jen, you know, one of my lovely members who always uses water tiles. And so now I always put water tiles under them because I think they're so cute. And then I really like these Bugs Life things too because they kind of glow a little bit and are also big items. I use the Easter table, which is so adorable, with a couple of these fairy chairs, and kind of put a little sitting area there. Normally I would have added some tea or something, but I'm trying not to make the longest of videos. But that just seems to be what happened. I thought this was going to be a short one, but I decided to kind of leave a lot in there for you to see that, you know, it's sometimes just takes some playing around with things to get it how you want. And see that I'm dropping a lot of the pink lighted flowers, and you could use a lot of those different color flowers around. But I just used the pink ones, and I didn't have a lot of space left, but I kind of grabbed a few and placed them around where I could. And that's it. That is my full fairy river walk. Oh wait, I gotta add all the fountain tiles. Because they go right under the river too. A lot of things do. Like that. Pathing and tiles and everything do. And that's the full build. I'll show you what the path looks like in different pathways. So like this is the regular white brick border. You can see it's more straight edge. This is the mud. All the rock borders will kind of look the same, but this is just a no bordered pathing. Yeah, I'll just go through a bunch of different ones if you wanted to like stop and go back and look at it. So I'll kind of go through and show you a little tour of the area. It's pretty full as you can see, but I didn't really fill up towards the river area yet. But I will once I see what I'm going to put on that side. But you can see kind of how the path kind of winds around in different ways and how the river looks from here. It looks really nice. All the lighted items are really nice, especially here. We don't get a lot of light onto this actual area at sunset, but it looks really pretty to see all of the glowing items, like the mushrooms and everything. Thank you so much for watching today. I really hope that you enjoyed it. It was really fun building, and I really want to do some more areas, and maybe I can do my full fairy build now. I'm so happy that I have this now in my wild woods to walk through when I come to find Aurora and save her. But I hope that maybe you found some inspiration from this. If you did like the video, I'd really appreciate if you put a like on it and subscribe if you haven't. And I hope that you all have a really wonderful rest of your day.